Today's video we're going to be talking about how we went about planning a long-term vacation.
In reality, planning this takes several months, but we outlined 5 main steps that we think could help you sort of get started.
Step 1, budget. This is my least favorite word. This is definitely where Alex's expertise came in handy.
So before you even look into what you can spend while you're abroad, you should really start to take a look at what your budget is at home and see where you're overspending. For example, there's a lot of people that will go eat out for every single meal. Doesn't really seem like a lot.
It adds up.
It adds up a lot.
But it's also important to look at everything you're spending outside your home. So that brings us to step number 2, cut the extras. So for me personally, cutting the extras meant buying my own iced coffee and bringing it to work versus getting Starbucks every day. So instead, I started buying my iced coffee at Hy-Vee and I was spending $5 for the entire week instead of $25.
Small things like that really helps a lot. You don't have to live bare bones. You don't have to cut everything. Just be more conscious of where your money is going on a daily basis. The other option is to just sell your car. That's what I did.
The hardest part for me on cutting the extras was not taking other trips while planning for our big trip. I had to skip spring break, summer vacations, all of that.
Sometimes you kind of get down on not doing things, taking trips when you see other people doing it, but you just kind of have to look towards what's coming, trust that it'll be worth it.
It's so worth it. That brings us to step 3, make a travel bucket list. When we got to this step, we looked at all the countries that we wanted to visit and why.
Step 3 is pretty short. Put together what you've always wanted to do. Step 4 is research.
After you know what countries you want to visit and why, then you need to start researching. For us personally, we really wanted to visit India, but after researching it, we realized that it was way too expensive for our travel budget at this time.
When it came down to flight prices, we could fly from, for example, Thailand to Vietnam for $100, or we could fly Thailand to India for $600.
When researching, there's a few main points that are really important to look at. Traveling, how much that's going to cost, how much it's going to cost to stay there, how much it's going to cost for food there, and then also if you need a visa or not.
Step 5 is to create a travel map and a budget list.
For this step, it was really important to us to look at weather patterns. It was important for us to follow where it was going to be warmest, the longest.
And we did not do that very well because it was 115 degrees in Japan for a month.
And now we're in the rainy season in Thailand where we're trying to get married outside.
Building a little bit off of what Mackenzie said with our budget list, we tried to categorize it a little bit to make it a little more predictable. So we broke it down into daily transportation costs and also just extra spending money for souvenirs, clothing, and things like that.
As well as our homestay.
And lastly, we're just going to rattle off some really quick tips that we have traveling for millennial burnouts.
When looking for lodging, Airbnb is definitely going to be your best bet, and the cheapest. The way that we found is going to be the absolute cheapest for us while traveling is the booking either bi-weekly or bi-monthly because then you get a discount.
That's why we're staying in some countries for as long as a month. You can get discounts for your stay up to 50%.
Another tip is do not book your experiences through Airbnb. We found that it's a lot cheaper to book your experiences while you're in the country versus booking them on the app.
Another tip that you should already be doing, but we'll say it anyway, is to meet locals. A lot of locals have friends in just about every single other business. They'll have friends that can drive you places, take you on tours, etc. for much cheaper than you would have found originally.
So we're speaking personally on the experiences that we've had in Asia so far.
Then your local friend will also drive you to the hospital when you're dying for free.
Another tip that we have is to keep your baggage light. A lot of people tend to overpack, and that was definitely something that we struggled with. Just remember that a lot of the stuff that you think you need, you don't.
One easy solution of packing lighter and better is to get packing cubes and to roll all of your clothing. People say that all the time, but we're gonna say it too. When you do it right, it's unbelievable how much you can actually fit. We only have one suitcase between the two of us, and we weren't even restricted by space. By the time we packed what we wanted, we were restricted by weight.
This is something that we found to be so helpful that hopefully we'll be making an entire video on how we went about packing a suitcase for 4 months. The last tip that we have for you guys today is to not get overwhelmed by the experiences because that can get expensive.
For example, it's okay to eat at touristy spots, but they'll typically be 2 to 3 times more expensive than local restaurants. So find blogs online that point out good local restaurants, and you'll save yourself a lot of money. Another place you can cut back on a lot is getting drinks. Instead of spending $6 or $7 a piece on drinks at the club every single night or at bars, you can walk into a convenience store right down the street.
If you're going to Asia, expect to see 7-Eleven and mini marts everywhere. Thank you all for watching our imperfect 5-step process to how to plan a long-term vacation.
Feel free to reach out with any questions. We really tried to make this as short as possible, so if there's anything that didn't really make sense or you want more clarification on, just let us know.
We hope you found this helpful. Tune in for our next video.